which I think is a really, really important lesson for young people. So knowing that this movie is gonna, you know, hopefully bring in younger audiences and they're gonna be exposed to these characters for the first time.
Hi guys,
Hey.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Justin, you mentioned yesterday that you've always been a fan of Beetlejuice, is that right?
That's correct.
What about you, Jenna?
Well, I have, but I want to say I have, but as a child, I was scared of everything. And I had a reoccurring nightmare about Beetlejuice. So I think I hated him for a really long time. But I was valid. I mean, I was young. He's a scary guy.
He's incredibly off-putting.
Yeah.
Like,
he's a demon.
yeah.
Yeah, he is scary. He can be scary. But I don't know, like, that made me think about how crazy and amazing at the same time it is to have watched something like you really liked and have admired for so long, and you never imagined you might be part of it in some point of your life, you know? Like, for example, me, I've never imagined I had the chance to talk with you about Beetlejuice. But I'd love to know your take on that. Like, do you still have do you still see these opportunities as fulfilled dreams, or has time, you know, like made you lose your sense of wonder and excitement?
Oh,
Time
no.
certainly is not.
Yeah, that would be miserable if you did.
Yeah, if I walked in, I was like, great, now I'm doing Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm like thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled. I mean, I always sort of have this metaphor in my head of like, whenever I was going through stuff when I was like, you know, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and beyond. If someone could have just told me like, you know, you're going to be fine, you're going to be okay, and said, and by the way, by the time you're this age, you're going to be doing Beetlejuice, or you're going to be working with this person or that person, or, you know, I would have been so thrilled, you know. So there is still like a 14-year-old that when I walk onto the set of Beetlejuice gets absolutely giddy and thinks like, I can't believe that I'm working with, you know, Willem Dafoe, or I can't believe that I'm working with Tim Burton, or I can't believe, you know, just really it's gratitude and feeling just an enormous sense of gratitude for that, you know.
Yeah, oftentimes as an actor, I feel like we're surprised that these unfulfilled dreams, like you said, you kind of almost don't even, they're kind of almost not even dreams because it's such an unbelievable concept.
Yeah.
So when it is presented to you, it's a very surreal, out-of-body experience, I would say. I feel very, very honored and fortunate that they brought it back and allowed me to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are also honored to have you, to have both of you.
Oh.
So, Jenna, Astrid's Lydia's daughter, and yet they are so different in a lot of ways. I'd love to know in which ways did you find inspiration to portray her? I mean, besides Lydia, is your acting based on some other cinematic character?
Oh, no, that's such a good question. I definitely, because Lydia is so loved, and I didn't want to come into this job and feel like I was doing some sort of impersonation or you know, was trying to do the same thing, because obviously Winona did such an incredible job, and that character is untouchable. She's one of the coolest characters ever, in my opinion. So I think for me, I actually turned to her character, and because she is her daughter, I know they have differences, but I did still want there to be some through lines or some similarities. So it was written, Astrid was written so greatly that there were naturally a lot of differences. You know, her passion for environmentalism and her not believing in ghosts and not seeing ghosts. You know, there was things like that that were set and established. But I think Lydia and Astrid both have a really strong sense of self and don't really sacrifice their own personal beliefs or opinions for others, which I think is a really, really important lesson for young people. So knowing that this movie is going to, you know, hopefully bring in younger audiences and they're going to be exposed to these characters for the first time, I thought traits and qualities like that were really important to represent.
Yeah, absolutely. So my time's up, but it was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
And welcome to Mexico.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now